Welcome to Saturday night edition of End the Simpademic. This is Jason coming at you here. I am coming because I promised to mention this on my Twitter page, End the Simpademic, or at End the Simpademic. There's no C at the end because there's too many characters in that. But End the Simpademic Twitter page, I posted a couple of screenshots of a YouTuber's advice today as far as what to do if you're ghosted by women. And so I want to cover this here real quick. The guy's name is Benjamin Seda, S-E-D-A, and he's somebody whose advice I largely disagree with. And here's what he had to say today. Today it was, if you text her once and she ignores you, double and triple text. And I'm thinking to myself, that is simping, and it's also how you get called a creep. If you do it enough, you get harassment charges, and you possibly throw away your own career and your ability to make a living. And because those types of charges don't ever really go away, even if you're exonerated somehow, those charges never ever go away. And so anyway, just look at my Twitter page. Just something called End the Simpademic, and you'll see the screenshots there, and you can read the entire post. I don't have the capability to be able to read off of a screen on my phone while filming you at the same time. Sorry, I haven't gotten that far yet in this whole series. So I will just say this right now: this is terrible advice. Some of the worst advice that we've had. I know there's a lot to be said about single women keep women single, but some single men also keep men single, and this is a classic example here. This is how to get yourself as a star of your own TikTok video where you're the star and you're also the villain at the same time, with the whole creepy haunting music from Halloween in the background. Speaking of which, it's that season, so you'd fit right in. You would be the star of your own horror film by some girl on TikTok who is screenshotted your texts and is labeling you as a creep and possibly even filing harassment charges against you if she knows enough about you, and such as where you live and your phone number and everything else under the sun. This is the type of behavior that actually allows women to call men creeps or stalkers, because this is actually creeping or stalking. And this guy's like, well, what do you have to lose? I'm like, here's what you have to lose, Benjamin. Here's what you have to lose. You have your career to lose. You have your ability to make a living to lose. You may even have your freedom to lose if you go far enough down this path. And I think once you text a girl, if you have their number somehow, and they ignore you, as far as I'm concerned, next. Who's next? Because you don't want to be in the position where you're the stalker, you're the creeper, you're being labeled as creepy, you're being put on blast across TikTok and every other social media platform that there is out there, and now you're also the star of a horror film. Which, I mean, if you want to brag about being the star of a horror film, this is not the horror film that I think you're looking for. It's not the big blockbuster production. It's just probably gets distributed about as much as a big Hollywood blockbuster, given the way social media spreads things these days. So yeah, you're starring in your own horror movie as the stalker. Bring the shining music on. Bring Stanley Kubrick here. This is just some of the worst advice I have ever seen. Ever. You do not want to be a simp. You do not want to be a creep. You don't want to be accused of being a stalker. If you text her once, she doesn't respond, go to the next one. Don't put this woman on a pedestal to the point where you think that she's your only option. Because trust me, as bad as it's been for a lot of us guys out there, you're not down to just one option. Nobody is. you know. And even if you think you're down to one option, in my case, I haven't met her yet. So I'm not worried about that because I'm not going to be pursuing. It's going to be a woman who we both know. And that's the best way to approach it. It's just that you're not going to try to force something, out of someone who doesn't have it. That's what this advice is telling men to do, is to try to force the situation. There's no forcing it. Like Phil Collins once saying as a solo artist, you can't hurry love, no, you just have to wait. Great lyric, great performer, great advice. So, anyway, this is a Saturday night's edition of End the Simpademic with some of the worst advice I've ever seen as far as men is concerned. If you follow this, you could find yourself in legal trouble, or at the very least, being put on blast across social media. So, thought I would share that. I just came up with it today because it struck me that hard. So anyway, go to my Twitter page, come back with a comment if you would like, and just share your thoughts on this. I most certainly would appreciate it. I'd like to hear from some of you out there. I know that I don't have exactly a horde of followers, but I'd love to hear from you. Thanks a bunch, guys. I will see you tomorrow for the Sunday version.